All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Variant Roles for another very special one-shot. I am your game master for this evening, Mad Sci DM Dan Gaston, that you can find me on Twitter, and we are here to play The Bleeding Edge, a transhumanist sci-fi game in a setting that I am working on using Cypher System from Monty Cook Games, and thank you to Monty Cook Games for the hosting tonight. I am excited, and I am going to stop blathering so we can introduce all of our fine players here tonight. Some returning faces, and a new one. And so with that, why don't we start off with Peter Voss, the pun bard himself.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yes, I am Peter Voss, the pun bard on Twitter. If you do a search for hashtag pun bard, you'll probably find some of my material. I'm excited to be here. This is my first streamed game, so this will be fun. This will be interesting. Nerves. So many nerves.
There is no reason to be nervous. We are a friendly bunch. We don't bite. And we are here... much. There's probably no vampires tonight, so we're probably okay.
You tell me now.
Excellent. All right. And so I guess we'll just go around the clock here. Litsa, how you doing?
Good. I'm Litsa Bronwyn, by the same name on Twitter. I've been on Variant Roles a few times, and Dan is an awesome DM, and I love Cypher, so I'm super excited for this game.
Well, thank you very much. That is high praise indeed. This is probably my favorite or second favorite game system. So, hopefully I won't screw up too much while running it tonight. Excellent. And Alex, finally, the two Gastons, who are not actually related, get to play together.
I know. It's going to be so confusing to everybody, especially since we look so much alike.
We clearly do.
It's the only reason I shaved today was so that there was going to be some kind of discernment.
Yeah.
But, hi, everybody. My name is Alexander Gaston. I have been on Variant Roles a couple of times. Got to do a sidekicks, kick and lose last week. Also got to play in the Dragon Heist thanks to Dan for getting me in touch and met this lovely crew. I've never played Cypher before. So I beg your forgiveness for any mistakes I'm bound to make, and also for my voice, because the winter cold seems to have gotten caught up with me. But I'm ready for today.
Well, we hope the voice will hold out, and of course, if we need to resort to signing and gestures, we will do so.
I have a chalkboard just in case.
Perfect. And that is great, and it is fine. So yes, we have a couple of Cypher newcomers and some who've played once or twice, and I, to be honest, have only run it or played it a few times as well. So we'll mess up rules and forget things, and that's okay. And the idea is to learn through play, because I think that is the best way to learn. Thank you very much for the follow. And last but certainly not least, Sam, welcome back.
Yeah, it's learnt to be back, even though similar to Alex, this is my first time playing Cypher, and I am nervous as all hell about it. The rules and all that. Similarly, I had the opportunity to be on Variant Roles before, again with the sidekicks kicking loose last week, which was hilarious. And
it really was.
Dragon Heist as well, under the wonderful DM Horse Garage.
Yes, Taryn with the fantastic DM Horse Garage, and I think that will live in perpetuity on Variant Roles. All right, so why don't we introduce the scenario that we are playing tonight, and then we will find out a little bit more about all of your characters. So, as per the primer that I sent around to the players beforehand, all of our lovely characters today are freelance contractors for Acheron Security Group, one of the many corporations engaged in the solar system and beyond in human endeavors. A large, well, where's the line between mercenaries, private military contractors, security? organized crime and cleanup crews. It's a little fuzzy, which you guys are well experienced with. But nevertheless, you are part of an elite rapid response unit who gets called out to check on things when there is a suspicion that there might be trouble. And you are responding to such a call today. In fact, your ship is in the process of docking at a station on 588 Achilles, which is one of the Jovian Trojan asteroids, where Acheron is the prime security contractor for that station. It's mostly like mining operations. There's some research and development from other corporations there. And in fact, one of your other bigger clients, Monolith Systems, who has a somewhat secret lab there, and the whole station has gone dark. They've missed security check-ins. There's been no contact with the station in 3 scheduled contact points, so you've been sent out to investigate. The last couple times you've done this, it's turned out it was like busted communications equipment. Super
Morgan's
disappointing.
gonna be so mad if that's what it is again.
Yeah. I mean, you get paid either way, but
It's just not as fun.
that danger multiplier on your base contract really helps pay down the mortgage.
Or owning my own bar.
Exactly. So you're out on your way to investigate what's going on here, and you've got 2 jobs. One is, handle any actual security threat. Could be terrorists. Who knows? Could be anything. But if there is a suspicion that whatever has gone wrong is as a result of Monolith Systems' Black Lab that is located on the site, unbeknownst to the officials who actually govern the settlement, you're to make sure that plausible deniability is maintained and secrecy is kept at all costs.
I like that. All right. Do we know anything about the Monolith Lab there? Or is it very, very hush-hush?
It's sort of like a need-to-know basis.
Yeah, I'm guessing Morgan doesn't need to know.
Yeah, so other than it exists and it is potentially dangerous, you do know that Monolith, like some other groups, occasionally come across ancient alien technology that they investigate and try and make discoveries for to, make the human race better through technology. So, but sometimes things go wrong, and what's that in the name of progress?
I don't know about you guys. I'm just looking forward to getting my hands on those circuits. Ooh. Flying around in there.
Whatever does it for you.
Speak to me. That's a conversation I've been waiting for years.
So the ship you're inbound on is called the Black Swan. It's owned by Acheron. And it does have an inbuilt AI. So the AI sort of handles most of the piloting of the ship. And it's a contact point for between you and Acheron. So potentially you can get information from it. But it is an artificial intelligence. It is a sapient being all on its own. And so it has its own agenda. And it is loyal to Acheron before you.
What's its name?
Its name is Black Swan. So typically the AIs have the same name as the ship. For all intents and purposes, the ship is the AI's body.
All right, so we just call it BS?
You can just call it BS, absolutely. All right, so your ship is, in fact, inbound. It has matched rotation with the asteroid, which has been spun up to provide some semblance of artificial gravity in the station itself. And it has negotiated docking protocols on its own and docked. But Black Swan comes on to tell you that it has had no contact beyond the automated systems that run the docking process. It was unable to get anybody on any, hailing frequencies, any communications, and even the AI that runs the station was not communicating, or any of its major subsystems.
Oh, well, that's odd.
Is there anything that I could stem from this? Can I link with BS and see? That's gonna make me laugh. Sorry. Can I interface with BS and see if there's anything I can extrapolate about what we're going into, or do I feel as though I have most of the information?
You might be able to, so let's go around and figure out more about our characters as we find out what everyone is doing. Thanks very much for the follow, Jacob. So with that, Alex, who is your character? So Cypher characters are described by a sentence, an adjective, noun, who, verbs. So what's your character's name? What is their character sentence? Tell us a little bit about them.
So my character's name is Mouse, and she is a lucky, skilled, and knowledgeable explorer who talks to machines in the near future.
Excellent. Excellent. That is fantastic. So what does Mouse look like?
So Mouse is, you would think that somebody who normally just talks with computers would be a little bit more scrawny, but she's athletic and she's nicely built. Her head is buzzed, and you could see on the back, the base of her skull, there's a port, and that's where you start to get a sense that perhaps she's not all human anymore. That and the fact that whenever she looks at you, you can start to see the irises of her eyes start to rotate as if she's focusing out. And on her arm, she also has bolts and ports as if she was linked up to something at some point in time. She's tall, muscular, looks like she could take care of herself, but in between those ports, she just has like circuit board tattoos that you just see that she just lives for the computers, and that's where she's probably going to get most of her stimulating conversation.
Excellent. So Mouse is proficient, very adept at communicating with computers. Black Swan, being an AI, is a little bit, beyond interfacing with a normal computer. But Black Swan, or BS, is used to you sort of interfacing a little bit more directly and seems to appreciate it. You're probably the tightest with BS of anyone in the crew.
Only I can call her BS.
She gets mad when anybody else does.
Exactly. We're home people.
And apparently we have decided that BS is female.
I went back. I was like, people,
Yeah. No,
BS,
I think
BS could be whatever they want to be.
They certainly could, but and AIs kind of just choose, and but I think it is fitting that that BS has more of a feminine female persona,
especially with me.
Absolutely. So what kind of information would you be looking to get from BS?
I know that we're going in and that she wasn't able to reach the other AI, or everything's dark. I wanted to see if maybe she was able to extrapolate any other information she might not be telling us.
Okay. So trying to like penetrate her actual security would be extremely difficult. Black Swan is probably at least like a level 6 being. So in Cypher, that would be a target number of 18. So unmodified, it is a very slim chance, but you do have some skills if you want to try. Although BS probably will not take kindly on a forced thing. But if you're trying to just be more persuasive and get BS to volunteer you information, that would be something entirely different.
I feel like I would try to, I feel like I would try to talk to her first, and then go from there if she was going to try and BS me.
Okay. So what BS would give you for free, like a level 0 task, so no need to roll, is that it is definitely unusual, but if their communication systems are like totally fried for some reason, that could explain the lack of contact. But she does update you that since you've been docked and she has now achieved sort of like a hard port, connection with the docking terminal, that she can't get any further than that. It feels like it has been firewalled off.
Okay. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, which would be like an emergency protocol. Like
Right.
if something was really messed up with the computer systems,
Mhm.
you'd sort of firewall off the docking components so that, you know, rescue ships can dock and things like that without accessing the other computer systems.
It's like containing a virus.
Yeah, but that would very, very much be the kind of thing that would happen there.
Could we see
Got it.
any? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Could we see any outside damage? Like, is there any battle damage, or does it all look like it's still in one piece?
Yeah, so you'd have a scanning suite, and you could use that to see sort of, you know, what the station and things look like on your approach. And again, I think that's the kind of information that BS would have like collated and brought up for you on approach. And so when you like request it, you know, she fires it up, sends it over to like your specs, your sort of like futuristic Google glasses that probably everybody wears. You've got all the information scrolling across, and everything looks normal. It looks within the realm of what you would expect. But for interpreting it and maybe seeing anything deeper, I'm going to say that it's like a on your own, unaided, we'll call it a level 2 task. So this would be an intellect. So that would be a 6 or better on a D20 roll.
So, would this be me or Mouse rolling it?
This would be you.
Okay.
You looking it over.
I received a 9.
A 9. All right. So even before BS sort of ends up flagging a couple of anomalies for you, you spot the telltale remnants of where it looks like in a few places in the station there might have been some sort of explosive decompression. You can still see some gases, air kind of leaking and venting out, but pretty slow.
Oh, that's not good.
What's not good? Morgan's like strapping on all her gear, like she's so ready to go.
Sort of peeking out the front of the. I assume there's some sort of like canopy or like a cockpit. I'm like over there. There's some stuff leaking out, and I don't think a station's supposed to do that.
Oh, do we have breath masks in case the oxygen's, you know, not there?
Yeah, absolutely. Your ship would come standard with various sort of space and survival suits and breath masks.
I'll like grab some and like just toss them towards the others. Like, you better be ready to catch these.
Do I breathe?
If you are purely a, you know, like more cybernetic organism, then probably not.
I'll go half and half. I'll take the not breathing. That'd be cool.
Excellent. Peter, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Well, my character's name is London Wool. So I assume that's probably sounds like London Wall or something. Maybe in the distant, maybe in the distant future, they built something. I don't know. The sentence that explains me is a virtuous explorer who fights with panache in the far future among the stars and space. So I imagine London Wool and that's wool with a ULL. And I imagine London to be sort of like a certain sea captain from a certain Netflix cartoon that has come up recently, but he looks a little bit beat up but repaired in sort of a haphazard way. Like, instead of a pirate's eye patch, he has like a mechanical eye thing that kind of rotates. He might be missing a couple of limbs, maybe some fingers or something. And he's loud, boisterous, friendly, but he's very, very loyal. He joined this mission probably because he thought it was like the right thing to do, not necessarily because he thought that like he was just getting paid.
Oh, bless.
Oh, bless. He's one of people who probably care for the money more. I pity him.
Excellent. Okay, so Lisa, your character's been handing out breathing masks and some safety gear, you know, as a standard operating procedure. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Morgan is very human looking. Blonde hair. The only transhuman thing about her is that she's incredibly beefy, like more so than normal. And she's definitely been enhanced, so she can pack a punch. Morgan is an impulsive warrior who needs no weapons. She can use them, but she prefers her fists. It's more fun that way. So.
Excellent. I like it. I like how we've got a couple of beefy characters because, of course, you know, a lot of characters here are going to have lived most of their life in very low gravity, so they tend to be like tall and thin. Mm-hmm. So, but having some mercs that, you know, spend some time in enhanced gravity training conditions to be beefier.
Is the station 1G?
It's probably less than 1G. It's probably a bit closer to, you know, more like Mars surface gravity or something like that. So it's a little bit more than the moon. Basically, the asteroid's been spun at an enhanced rotation to give, you know, the semblance of artificial gravity.
Right.
Yeah.
And Morgan and Gabriel, we decided they used to work together as mercs before they joined the security company. So I imagine they're also helping each other gear up because they're like very in a routine of what they know they need.
Oh yeah, Gabriel is very almost ritualistically going over his ammunition, holstering the pistol, going for the next pistol, the rifle, going back and checking them all. It's very almost. He's always got like almost a blank look on his face. It's completely instinct. It's all ritualistic. It's ceremonial almost in his behavior.
Excellent.
I would say religious, but he's probably a very outspoken person against religion. So it kind of balances.
Morgan's probably fucking with him like just enough that she knows he won't like go off.
Probably, yeah.
And Mouse is just stroking bits of the ship.
I think maybe one of London's fingers might be sort of like a little flask. He pops it off and like, takes a.
Amazing! Awesome. I love it.
I like it.
Perfect. And Gabriel, what's your character sentence?
Of course, I am Gabriel Kaizi. I am a clever warrior who wields two weapons at once. He's... I'm trying to think how to describe him. He's very scruffy looking in appearance, almost like he once was very proud and almost virtuous, if that makes sense in how he looked. And then something happened, he just kind of went, fuck it, I don't care anymore. So there's signs of he used to be similar to Morgan, very beefy and muscled, but it's almost signs of he's just let it go. And he's focused more now on flexibility, speed, and agility. So he has, he has a fake right arm, which is only obvious in, you can see the discoloration between skin and metal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's close to
fake arms are hot. Not at all biased towards fake arms.
He's also got, similar to Mouse, very unusual eyes, but in the case of rather than almost being like he's focusing, they're just completely black. He's not tried to make them look human at all. It's obvious they're cybernetic.
But he likes being scary.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the kind of imitating.
I know. I got you.
Excellent. All right. So BS sort of chimes in on all of your communications gear. So you have sort of, you know, integrated communications gear as you choose. It can be sort of like an external set that you wear, or an actual implant of some kind. But over the audible channel, BS comes in and lets you know that she has finished establishing the handshake protocols and is ready to open the airlock whenever you are ready.
I'm so ready. Let's do it.
Immediately grabbing the leather duster, pulling it on, wide-brimmed leather hat, putting that on, the very stereotypical space rogue, if that makes sense.
I'll look at BS and just be like, crack it open, baby.
This is her version of opening up a cold one.
With the boys.
Yeah.
Cracking cold on with the boys.
All right. And BS just goes, "Oh, certainly for you, Mouse." And there's a and a hissing sound as the door in the airlock sort of pops open, revealing sort of, the nice kind of white area that's the airlock between the ship and the station, and says that she can cycle you through.
Okay. Yeah, Morgan's going to immediately jump down.
All right.
Once more into the breach, ready our guns and ready our foes. Straight after Morgan.
Nice. As soon as I'm on the station, do I see a port where I could jam in?
Yeah. So the first room you enter is just the airlock itself. So you've got the sort of pressure doors from your ship that have just opened. They'll close behind you when you get in and sort of make sure that the pressure is equalized between the two. And then another set of doors will open into the station itself. But there is a command unit, like a control system in the airlock as well that has some communications and there is a data port there.
I kind of want to jack in there to see if I could just get a sense of what's going on before we get too far in.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead? I'm going to call this a level 4 intellect task. But then if you have appropriate skills and things like that, which I believe that you do, that will reduce the difficulty.
Machine affinity. You're trained in all tasks involving electrical machines.
Absolutely. So that would apply.
Yeah.
So that would reduce it from a 4 to a 3.
Okay.
So then you're looking at a target number of a 9 or higher. So you've got slightly better than 50% chance.
Okay, I will.
And if you want to reduce it further, you can spend effort from your intellect pool, would reduce it further down to a 2.
Just because I think this might be important, I will.
Okay, so that's normally 3 points out of your intellect pool.
Okay.
And if you do have edge in intellect, which
I don't.
Okay. So you just spend 3 points out of that pool, and that will reduce it to a 2. So now you're looking at a 6 or better.
Okay. I rolled an 11.
Excellent. So you plug in your system, your little, implanted intrusion protocols, kind of skip through, the handshake protocols and establish a connection with the computer system of the station. And similarly to what BS found is you're finding all of the stuff for controlling the airlock, but it seems like it's been partitioned. All of the sort of access points where you would get out into further station systems have been firewalled off. You can virtually see a big flashing caution sign. And as soon as you kind of, touch it at all, your own sort of computer system's internal antivirals just start screaming that, it seems like there is some kind of infection on the other side of the firewall.
Okay, then I will proceed.
What are we looking at here?
I was wondering if I could peek through if there's any sort of viewport.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a viewport into the station proper. And when you sort of take an initial peek through, it's sort of fairly dark with a lot of flickering lights. So that stereotypical, buzzing and flickering of lights that are going off and on, faulty emergency lighting.
I don't want to jinx it, but this is super Event Horizon so far. And I'm scared.
I guess I would withdraw from the system and just turn to everybody and be like, she's proper sick. There's something not great going on. We got to figure this out. But if I go further, I'm not going to end up much better than she is. So
it's not a regular transponder failure then. There's something different.
No, something's definitely up. The whole system is just locked off from anybody being able to get past the airlock. We're firewalled. There's something sick inside her, and we may not want to touch it.
Can you open up the doors to the station?
Why don't we do that? But let's let the two soldiers go up front.
Oh yeah.
Can I
Ready?
open up the doors to the station?
Yeah, and so the ones from your ship have closed in behind you. You can hear some machinery pumping air into the airlock as everything sort of equalizes. And then a big, there was like a red light beside the door into the station, and it flips over to green. And so you basically just have to hit the button and be through.
Well,
sure,
good.
and I'll try to make myself look really cool, and I'll be like, and then like hit it.
And again, there's a bit of a hissing sound as the pressure equalizes and the door slides open, and you hear the distinctive hum of, faulty electrics and emergency lighting, which is flickering in the hallways of the station itself. And everything is kind of plain, but it looks like it opens onto a promenade with shops. You can see sort of the flickering signs above, some of the establishments, which are, glitching off and on. And in particular, all of your normal computer systems, which normally take in information from around and like project it onto you, is like glitching heavily. And BS notifies you that she automatically sort of put in some buffers on your gear to prevent infection.
Oh, that was nice.
My eyes are just flickering. This is gonna get annoying quick.
I switched to a different optical.
Yeah, so
It has to be hand cranked.
Do you just pull it out of your back pocket, this giant crank for a car, and just
Wait, hold on.
But you do have a small kind of map projects up in your, basically your HUD, so your tactical systems that you have, courtesy of Acheron. So you have the layout of the station. So you know that you are on a promenade. The section is mostly, docking components. The promenades for like shopping, right? That kind of thing. There's some administrative offices on this level. And then sort of down the next level is mostly residential. And then below that is like mining operations and where the monolith facility is as well.
So we need to go down.
We should just do a sweep. Check out this level pretty fast, go down to the next, check it out pretty fast, keep going until we find somebody.
I agree. We move quickly and move swiftly. No point letting anything get a jump on us.
There's no way I could have gotten deeper in to do a scan for life forms, was there?
You could try, but you're pretty sure that if you hacked into the system, you're then going to be under the threat of your own internal systems getting compromised.
Is there any I assume this is like a docking port where people come in if they're new to the station. Is there any publicly available map like you would find in a mall?
Yeah, so normally people would have stuff just come to their headset, gear, right? It's a pretty advanced society essentially. But there is like a public information terminal nearby.
All right. I guess I'd go up to it and see if it's something I don't have to, jack into, but if I can just, pull up like a basic map.
Yeah, there's an interface. It pulls up a map that mostly matches the map that you have that's been provided by Acheron. Although it doesn't give information about the deeper levels. And in particular, the monolith Black Lab site is actually just listed as caravan corporate offices.
Where is that on our HUD?
On level 3, so the third level in.
Okay, yeah, we definitely need to check that out.
Can I ask? Sorry, can I ask one more question? I have to go lower. I can't go up.
Absolutely.
Did I understand? So I wasn't able to get far at all. Did I at least get a sense of where perhaps the virus either originated from or lives in the system where I could go and cut it off at that point?
That's a good question. So your sense was, that most of the main system, for the station has been infected.
Okay.
Yeah, so trying to get into it at all, it's not impossible, but it would expose you to this, whatever this virus is.
So this is gonna be so weird, and I'm literally taking what very minimal computer knowledge I have and trying to like make it science fiction-y.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
there any way I could build a box around myself system by system?
So the you could sort of sort of try and establish a beachhead in like a localized bit of the system for the station, and then try and clear out from there.
Would it help if I punched it? I'm prepared to do that.
No, my love, you're amazing, and I cannot wait to see you punch things. But usually, violence and technology aren't good bedfellows.
Well, just
It'd
let me
have to
know
shoot.
if you Sorry,
No,
Gabby.
shooting it either.
Oh.
You guys are killing me here.
We're ready to help. Whenever you just give the word and we're there.
As soon as I have something for you to punch, my loves, and shoot, my loves, you're the first ones I'm tapping. Don't you worry.
Good.
I'm just standing back and sort of chuckling a little.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to go. This is so weird. I essentially want to. I'm debating whether. Okay, viruses usually have an epicenter, and then they stem out from that, and so it's different. So it's like you could diffuse. It's like diffusing little bits of a bomb before you get to the big bomb. Could I diffuse little stations at a time to try and get little information? Or
possibly.
I know I'm still exposing myself.
Yeah, for sure. And you're not totally defenseless. So your computer systems have, some protection, right?
Yeah.
So it's not
So I will look for a station that looks like a good hub that's away from the airlock to try and take down the defenses for that, to try and get us a little bit more information or a better map or just something.
Okay. So this will be a searching task. So I'm going to call this intellect, and I'm going to say that it is a level 2, so 6 or higher.
I'm watching her back, just in case.
I'm keeping an eye out.
2.
Yeah, so you're scanning around, you see this information terminal, you're looking around, and you don't spot anything that seems obvious. You might have to just go deeper into the station and investigate sort of more closely. So this is where I'm going to do one of my favorite things in Cypher, which is called an intrusion. So this is where I basically come in and introduce, some wrinkle or, something that helps you. So I will offer it, in this case, to Alex. And if you accept my intrusion, you get 1 experience point for you, and you get to give one of the other players another experience point. XP you can obviously use as like building characters, but you can also use it in the game. You can spend 1 experience point to re-roll a dice roll. You can also spend 1 experience point to refuse an intrusion. So since you didn't have any starting XP, you can't really refuse my intrusion. But you're going to get 1 XP, and you can give an experience point to someone else. So who would you like to give it to?
I will give it to Gavril.
Okay.
Let's start with Gavril.
All right, so you can both mark down that you have 1 experience point. So as you're looking around and you've got your buddies on your back, scanning around with their weapons, a little deeper in the station, sort of down one of the hallways out of the shadows, you see this large shape kind of like lumber around. So it's not clear to you what it is. It's still in the shadows, but it's lumbering around. And then it sort of steps out into the light almost quizzically and starts shuffling towards you. And as it resolves the flickering light, it looks like it's quite large. It's, about 9 feet high and kind of weirdly cylindrical. And the light glistens off of kind of greasy looking flesh. And as it gets closer, it looks like just a misshapen lump of flesh, like very indiscernible. You don't see like obvious features. It's got like 4 kind of almost elephantine like stubby little legs that it's like waddling around on, sort of R2D2 like. And it doesn't have any arms. You don't see a face. You don't see any organs. Although its top part kind of orients towards you, and it kind of starts shuffling over towards you.
Do I see this, or do we all see this?
I would imagine that Morgan saw it kind of first, and I would imagine that Morgan would kind of alert everyone to its presence.
Cool. It's like somebody enlarged a spam, and
I'll just tap her on the
Frankensteined
arm. I'll just tap her on the arm and go, "Hey, remember what I said? I can't wait to see you punch something. Get at it, big one."
I pull out my rifle and like, I should call you Blubby.
and it keeps approaching you at sort of the same pace. You hear sort of almost a little snuffling sound from it. It's got kind of like tumorous growth on it. You see little patches of hair here and there. When you look
Go ahead. Sorry, finish.
No, I was just gonna say, when you look real close between some of the folds of flesh, you can see what almost looks like maybe a misshapen head, but you see like 2 of them. You see a little part with like maybe it looks like a little bit of a hand and like wriggling fingers, but it's all very indistinct, and it's like someone took a whole bunch, made a bunch of people out of Play-Doh or like plasticine, and then like mashed them all together and then kind of smoothed it out.
All right. I'm gonna walk up to it,
Like,
and I'm gonna be like, "Hold up, you guys."
as she sorry,
Okay.
I'm holstering one of my pistols and I'm taking a shot, but not at it. It's going slightly wide on purpose as a kind of a warning shot.
Nice.
And I imagine, considering Morgan and Gavriel's experience, it's kind of the shot goes over her shoulder to do this. As she's firing, and it's a kind of simultaneous.
You're a freak out. Calm down.
So there's the crack of your gun going off, and like the hiss and whine of the bullet, which then hits one of the signs down the hallway, which cracks and sort of falls and clatters to the ground.
That was like that when we got here.
The sound echoes through the station. And this, misshapen lump of flesh just kind of, it pauses, and it like quivers a little bit, and then sort of keeps shuffling towards Morgan, because Morgan is approaching it.
Do I
Okay.
get a sense that it's any type of technical being?
Go ahead and give me, I guess this would be an intellect.
Who had sense motive?
Oh, I got sense motive.
There you go.
Give me
Yeah,
some info, buddy.
Pretty close.
So we'll call this an intellect task. It's a difficulty level 2, so that would be
Okay.
a 6 or higher on the dice. And I think you are skilled, so that would reduce it to a 1, so 3 or higher.
Okay.
What'd you roll, Alex?
I got a 10.
All right. So its motive does not appear to be threatening.
Okay.
In fact, it seems curious. I mean, it's hard because it's weird body language, but it seems more curious and almost like it's seeking comfort.
Oh man, this is. Do you think this is Monolith? Man, if those guys are like merging people together, that's fucked up.
I don't think it's dangerous at the moment. And I, sort of pull back my rifle, and I go over next to Morgan, and I reach out and I try to like, I assume it has a little tiny hand. I try, shake it a little.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna also touch it and actually try to whoa, buddy.
So when you touch it and then go to pull your hand away, your hand is stuck. So it had this sort of viscous, oily secretion covering it. It smells quite foul. So as it got close, it just stinks.
Okay, get it off. Get it off. Get it off.
Gavril, take it out.
So you can try and pull your hand away.
Yeah.
And
it's innocent but dangerous.
So pulling it away you can already tell is going to be hard. So I'll let you know it is a difficulty 5 might roll.
I have edge on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna spend
you can spend effort. It would be 3 points out of your pool, and your edge reduces it by 1, so it reduces it down to 2.
And is Morgan helping?
I'm also stuck. We both.
Oh, you're also stuck. Oh, okay.
I'll let you roll first, and you can help me if you can.
So that would be a 4. Do you have any other physical skills that also might apply?
I have muscles of iron, actually. For the next 10 minutes, all difficulty and might-based actions, other than attack rolls you attempt, is reduced. So I'm going to spend 1 might point.
Yes.
To do muscles of iron. So
does that reduce it by 1?
It reduces it by 1.
Okay, so spending the 1 might point from that would reduce it from a 5 to a 4. And then if you spend your other 2 points for effort, it would reduce it to a 3. So now we're looking at a 9 or higher.
Okay, so let me just mark down how much. Okay, so it's 11 might. Oh, no, 2. So it's 12. Okay, so you said it's a 2 or higher?
So we reduced it from a 5 to a 3.
Yeah,
and so that will be a target number of 9 or higher.
Okay. That's a 9.
All right. So
nice.
When you activate your muscles of iron, what's that look like?
So because my past, I'm probably it says in my background that I'm a bartender, so I probably we discussed a little bit before chat, I probably run the corporate bar back at Acheron corporate headquarters, and over time I think I've built in some sort of internal stim package.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit that, and it looks like I just kind of sort of balloon out just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just I use that shock to just move me backwards.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So so your hand pulls away and it does that, stringy and pops off. So now if you want to help
give a girl a hand,
Morgan, then that would count as an asset. So that an asset will reduce her difficulty by 1. So she goes from a 5 to a 4.
And
would it also
be,
go ahead.
Would it also still be reduced? Because it says it for the next 10 minutes.
So you helping, you don't have to make a check to help her. You're just an asset, basically. Because you're skilled. So unqualified people are not really good assets. But because you're strong and jacked up, you're going to be able to help her. So that will be an asset for her.
Okay. So
I'm also spending effort.
Okay,
and
so that would reduce
that's a 19. I'm so strong.
There you go. So between the two of you, just flop off. And the shape kind of quivers a little bit and just shuffles. It doesn't go to touch you. It kind of just shuffles close to you and then stands there.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, we got to kill this thing.
I didn't know. I have this thing called distant activation where I can activate or deactivate any machine you can see within a short range, even if you normally you would have to touch or manually operate it.
Yep. So short range is basically within 10 feet.
Can I do that?
What machine are you trying to activate?
Did I didn't figure out whether that was like half machined. I didn't know.
Oh, right. So why don't you go ahead and roll me a level 2 intellect challenge. If you have anything about like identifying creatures, or then that would potentially reduce it.
No.
Okay, so 6 or higher.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
There you go. It looks. You don't see anything resembling metallic components or like a machine-like components at all. All you can see is flesh.
As soon as Morgan and Wool are free, could I kind of do a quick assessment of this creature and its behavior to understand if we tell it to go to stand to one side, it would do so, or is it a danger to us? Like a quick character assessment of it, essentially.
Yeah. So you had already. London had done his sort of motive assessment and had deemed it not a threat.
Oh yeah,
at least before they touched it.
In terms of an accidental threat, or is it something that if we say, go stand over there, don't come near us, it will do that instead of accidentally touching and sticking to one of us? Kind of what's its demeanor like, rather than how much of a threat is it?
Sure. So I'll say a difficulty 2 intellect. So that would be a target number of 6 or higher. And then if you have any like relevant skills for sort of making assessments about the creature.
Assessing danger, lies, quality, importance, functional power.
Perfect. So that will reduce it from a 2 to a 1. So 3 or higher.
I got 19. So
okay, excellent. So it definitely seems like it could be an accidental danger. You don't really get the impression that it's necessarily particularly smart, or that it would follow orders. And Nox helpfully reminded me in chat, because I totally forgot, on 19s and 20s you often get special effects, minor and major effects. 20s are crits in combat. And I'm just trying to remember if anything would sort of apply from Morgan's earlier. Impulsive. There are some suggestions in the book for major and minor effects.
Which I didn't write down because I'm not helpful.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and it's actually in the needs no weapons. So I think those are mostly the combat ones.
Fine.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna say is like when you like kind of pulled it away, and some of that sort of stickiness came with it, it kind of left like a patch on its like where you touched it as bare now. It doesn't have any of the oily secretions. And for Gavriel on yours, where you were sort of assessing it, yeah, the sort of the extra bit is that, yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's gonna be particularly prone to obeying you.
Okay. Does it seem like it's in any pain, discomfort, or the like?
I mean, it's a big, huge walking mass of flesh that, you know, it came up sort of seeming like it was seeking comfort. So
we gotta send it to a better place, you guys. I'm pulling out a gun.
Do we have any rations on us? Like those, you know, nutrient bars or anything?
For one of your inexpensive items, probably. You could.
Okay. I want to, just before you start shooting, I take one out, unwrap it, and I sort of, I aim very carefully to the hand, and I toss it to see if it sticks.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Like your candy wrapper hits. I'm going to have you give me a difficulty 2 speed check.
Okay.
Task.
That would be a 5.
Okay. So yeah, you throw the candy bar, it snap, as it sort of hits perfectly in, and it sort of grips the candy bar.
Irrelevant.
Does it like eat it, or does it just like dissolve, or?
It's kind of just holding it there, and it's like stuck. And even when it then kind of opens its fingers, but it's stuck to the palm of its hand.
Okay. Oh, that's.
Despite the offering of food, pulling the second gun and taking 2 shots.
Thank you. Reminding everyone that we're supposed to get rid of monolith evidence by any means necessary. This is some weird ass shit
Oh yeah.
that I feel like doesn't belong here. That's just a guess. I'm not super smart, but
Okay. So Gavril, go ahead and so firing at range is a speed challenge, and the difficulty level, the task level is 2 inherently for the creature.
Okay. I've got 2 light pistols, so that reduce it to 1 because they're light weapons.
That's right.
And then my focus ability, I wield 2 weapons at once, so on 1 attack action I can take an attack with both of them.
Okay, perfect. So so you're looking for a 3 or higher on your roll.
I'm also going to use my pierce ability, so my eyes flicker and have like a shock of white appear in them as I kind of focus in on the target and take both shots.
Okay.
So it'll be 1 speed point, but I've got a speed edge of 1, so if I'm correct, it cancels out.
That's right. If it costs 1 to activate it and you have an edge of 1, then it is free.
Okay. So
And Mouse will just go, dig in the eyes.
first is 11. The second is a 4 for a total of 6 damage, because any effect I apply to my attack applies to both attacks.
Okay. All right. So just all right. So your 2 sort of pistol shots. I'm sure it looks super cool.
Bugger.
Oh.
they spiral in a double helix.
and they impact on the creature. They penetrate. It like spurts sort of blood and weird bodily fluids, and there's a bit of like a piercing sort of, like it kind of vibrates, and you get almost, it vibrates this like sound into the air, almost reminiscent of a scream.
Don't let it get on you.
And it sort of moves like it's gonna sort of step in, because Morgan's pretty close by, and London. So I'm gonna have you guys do the equivalent of initiative. So it is a speed challenge.
Two.
So my inexperience with the rules showing here, if I use the speed points, do I essentially add 3 to my roll?
Yeah, so the way this works in Cypher is basically anyone who, the creature has a difficulty of 2, so its target number is 6 or higher. If you roll 6 or higher, you go before it. If you roll less, you go after it.
Okay.
So if you have if you're trained in initiative, which you can be, that's a skill, then that would reduce it from a 2 to a 1. So it works the same way as everything else does.
Okay,
effectively.
Were we all?
Yes, yeah, to determine when people are going to go, yeah.
I got a 5, but I am trained in initiative because I'm impulsive.
All right, so you still go before it.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Okay. So we'll have Mouse and Gavril and Morgan, and then the creature, and then London. All right. So Mouse. Basically, you saw Gavril take these 2 shots at the creature. It impacted. It did damage. The creature is starting to turn kind of like reddish, mad, blushing color, and is moving threateningly towards Morgan.
Do I have weapons? Or can I just decide that I have weapons?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I am practiced with light and medium weapons.
Okay. So, like, light weapons would be like small pistols, knives, like your fists, or like punches and kicks, that sort of thing. Medium would be like, your heavier gauge handguns.
Can I just reach down and punch my leg and have it open up and pull out a sawed-off shotgun?
You could. So normally, like, a big shotgun would be a heavy weapon, but we'll say that a sawed-off could totally be a medium weapon.
Sweet. It's obviously like super tricked out and probably doesn't shoot shells. It just shoots like bursts.
Yeah, totally. Like,
because I don't have anywhere to put ammo. My truck is all full. So I will go, all right, I've wanted to use this for so long, and I'll hit my leg and it'll just kind of open up, and I'll reach down and I'll grab it, and and then you'll see like a snake come out of like a couple of the ports and just link with the gun, and I'll aim it.
All right.
There.
Excellent. So you can also go ahead and make a speed test as you're firing at this creature. So it's again a difficulty 2.
So that's a 6 or higher.
6 or higher.
Natural 20.
All right. So that does definitely give you a special effect on a critical, and
oh god, guys, an 18 and a 20. It's all downhill from here, I promise.
So at a base, that will deal 4 damage because a medium weapon deals 4, and your talks to machines, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Talks to machines.
Talks to machines.
Yeah, but you can choose, like, as a major effect, you can choose something sort of fun, or you can just deal more damage.
I'll just deal more damage.
All right.
I've already come to the conclusion that it's not a machine. At least it doesn't appear to be.
That's right.
So I figured it would just kind of rotate and just impact its chest, and just as if like how a wire came out of one of my plugs and snaked around and linked to my gun. I want the arcs to just kind of around and just like hit it in different areas.
All right. Excellent. And so actually with that sort of shotgun blast, it blows like a large hole in the middle of the creature, and it just crumples to the ground.
Oh, this is so much cooler than I thought it was going to be. I haven't been able to use that yet. Have you seen?
It's like smoke is just rising off your gun and like off of the large hole blown in the chest of the creature.
Oh.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Now that's a hole.
Yeah.
Holstering my pistols, I'm going to walk over to the creature, kneel down, take off my hat, press it against my chest, and murmur, "Cursed are thee who went against us. I wish you well in the hells." And then stand back. And it's probably something the whole group has seen Gav will do quite often. When it's a singular enemy, he'll take the moment to say something.
So we're just going to leave it here? We're going to try to like disintegrate the body?
I think we should do that, but is there anything inside the hole? Like outside, it looked like a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Does it look like that on the inside?
Same thing.
Yeah, it's like a weird, almost like gelatinous mass of like organs and body fluids and ichor. And there's these like black sort of tendrils almost like running all through it.
I guess you know what they say.
They glisten, at least at first glance, they look like they could be organic. It's hard to say without, trying to inspect them further.
What do they say? Well,
I'm going to poke it.
Who wants to bet that that's what Monolith is doing, and who wants to bet that Mouse is going to get consumed?
Wait, can Black Swan say anything about it now that we're looking at it? I'm not trained in biology.
I mean, I'm trained in biology, but more how to put holes into the biology.
I could ask BS if she's got anything on it, but I kind of want to poke it.
I stand by with my like temporarily beefy arms. Okay.
I'll ask. How about this? I'll ask BS if she sees anything, and if she doesn't, I'll poke it.
I mean, I'll make sure to attend your funeral. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks there, Bright Eyes. Yeah, I'll ask BS if she's getting any read off of this. Is that something that she could do?
Yeah, she definitely could. I am gonna have you make a intellect roll based on this, because you have to sort of interface with BS and get her to do it, but she will count as an asset. So I am gonna make this a difficulty level 4 identification. So that's a 12 or higher, but she's gonna reduce it to a 3, so we're looking at a 9 or higher.
Natural 20.
All right, so you
Wow.
link in. BS like connects. BS is in a particularly good mood today on your analysis, and she's like, "Ooh, that's some good data." And
Babe?
reads in your scans.
I got you a juicy one.
And she says, "Almost looks like a strange nanotech device. It's got some organic components, but also some metallic and synthetic components in there too."
Do you think there's anything off of it? Do you think there's anything I can interface with it to get some info, or do you think I better not poke it?
You could, but nanotech devices are notorious for invading host systems and taking over, depending on how smart they are.
Do you think this is what could have possibly caused our little shutdown?
Maybe. If it infected the systems. This is nothing that I've got on Monolith's books.
Are you sure, darling?
Oh, I'm sure.
All right.
I'm not saying it's not Monolith tech. I'm just saying if it is, it's not in my databases.
I have seeing through deception. Is she bullshitting me right now?
So this would be, what did I say before? She was a level 6, I think I said? Yeah.
Oh,
So that would be an 18 or higher on an intellect, and then, but your skill would reduce it from a 6 to a 5. So now we're looking at a 15 or better.
Okay. Well, all right, we'll try it.
If you spend effort.
18. I got an 18. I got an
18.
I used a different dice, I promise.
No, I'm glad. I mean, this is way better than Dragon Heist rolls. Your dice are with you.
My Dragon Heist rolls were so bad.
BS actually seems like she's not BSing you.
Do we have anything on us that could take like a DNA sample and compare it against known residents or employees of the asteroid?
So if you want to spend from like your items, let's say a moderately priced item would get you like a small sampler. That's not going to sequence the DNA. You'd still need a lab for that. And you would need access to appropriate comparative databases to scan it against. If you wanted to spend an expensive item, then you've got sort of a full portable sequencer. You still need the database, but you probably have access to Acheron Security data and probably Monolith employee records. Probably not the rest of the station, but you probably have access to the two of those through your ship.
I'll burn the expensive and get the full sequencer. I think you said it was.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna call this a level 4 intellect for doing the comparison and doing the sequencing and all of that. But the device itself is going to be an asset, so that would reduce it to a 3.
Okay.
Can I also be an asset and reduce it even more?
You could potentially, if you interface with his system and lend your computing power, sure.
Well, do you want a little help with that?
I mean, I tend to hit my electronics when they don't work. You're probably best getting involved.
Okay, yeah, okay. And I'll just I'll kind of touch it and just you'll watch all the snaking come out of all the ports and just wrap around and just caress it and then plug in. I'll be like, oh.
I'm imagining something like Akira.
I'm just looking over at Gabriel going, ooh, spared no expense.
I'm just imagining what was the name of the actor doing that in Jurassic Park. Spared no expense. The character John Hammond. Is the character, yeah.
David Attenborough.
Well, he looks a lot like David Attenborough, but that's not the actor. And I think the actor's dead, actually. But
cool.
All right. So you've now reduced it to a 2, so you're looking at a 6 or higher.
I'm going to pause for a moment, look at Mouse and say, you know, lass, you really weird me out when you treat electronics like that.
Oh, honey, just imagine what I could do to you.
Oh, no. I actually say that.
No,
I'm sick and I'm going with it.
no offense meant against you, Mouse, but no. And I got an 8, so
all right,
that makes it, thankfully.
Yeah,
oh
so you take a sample from the fleshy bit, and it runs a sort of DNA sequencing routine. It's surprisingly quick. As someone who does this in my day job, where it takes days, it is surprisingly quick. And it interfaces with BS, who runs it against Acheron and Monolith employee records, and sort of deciphers and identifies human DNA from at least 4 distinct individuals. 2
it's
of
a
which...
committee.
It is a committee. This is someone's thesis committee. And you get a hit against Acheron, and you do get a hit against Monolith. The other 2 are unknown. And then it does say that there's some weird junk in there too. Like scrambled DNA that looks like it does something, but it doesn't match. And BS says, I helpfully ran it against all our known patent databases and records against terrestrial and modified life forms, and it doesn't match anything.
Much obliged, Black Swan. Thank you for the extra effort.
And I have that info in there too now, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You were sort of the interface, helping with the interfacing with the database search.
Okay.
Yeah, and now you do have those DNA profiles. I mean, they're kind of scrambled, but what information is there you do have?
Oh, I have Decipher.
Yeah.
If you spend 1 minute examining a piece of writing or code in a language you do not understand, you can make an intellect roll of a difficulty 3 or higher based on the complexity of the language or code to get the gist of the message.
So you could maybe try this. So stretching it a little bit, reading DNA.
Sorry.
As as A, C, P's, and G's is in essence a language. You don't understand it because you're not a genetics expert, but you have access to appropriate databases, and so you could make another attempt with BS's aid on the foreign sequences that weren't human, weren't terrestrial, that sort of thing. It's going to be quite challenging. I'm going to say that I'm going to set it at an 8. BS as an asset's going to reduce it to a 7.
Okay. Is this something that I should wait and try to see if I have more to add into it to make it to give more information to lessen it, or?
No, I think you've got sort of all the information that you would have. So BS reduced it to a 7, and I don't know whether Your decipher is an ability.
Yeah, it's a skill. It says 1 intellect point.
Yeah, so it's an ability. So you spend 1 intellect to activate it and sort of let you do it. So it's not going to reduce the difficulty any further. It's sort of already doing that by saying you don't understand what it is, but you can sort of the puzzle anyway. So we're looking at a 7.
Which is
21. So
which
the
is
only
a
way you
21,
can
so it's
succeed
still impossible.
unless
Even a 20 won't succeed on it automatically.
you'd have to spend effort.
So you'd spend effort, which would bring it to a 6, and so then you're looking at an 18 or higher.
I have 1 effort.
Oh, you've only got 1 intellect point left?
Oh
No,
no,
that just means 1 effort.
You
just
haven't-
means
you
that
haven't-
can only
Yeah,
do.
you can only
with
spend 1
skill.
level of effort. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I have
when-
10 intellect points, and I would have 9 if I tried to do this.
So you spend 3 to spend a level of effort, so it takes it to 7. But if you have an edge in your intellect, then it only costs you 2.
I don't have an edge, which is really weird.
Yeah, it's if you want to switch your edge from wherever it is to intellect, I would say that's totally fine.
Yeah, can I switch it from might to intellect? Because that doesn't make sense for me to be like...
Yeah, it's because the explorer
makes
is what sets the edge, and it sets it between might and speed. But I think your character, it makes more sense for it to be an intellect. So totally. So spend 2. So go from a 10 to an 8.
Okay.
In your intellect.
So I have to roll an 18 or higher.
So you have to roll an 18 or higher. Yeah.
I mean, you've got 2 20s, so here's a third.
I don't know. Do I roll the dice I've already rolled that rolled high, or do I roll a new one? We'll go with the metal one again. All right. Nope, 6.
So
it was a long shot. I just rolled really hella good for like 4 rolls. So I mean, it was only bound.
It was totally worth the attempt for sure. So you try, and BS is like, I got nothing. Sorry.
It's all right, sweetness. We'll try in a little bit.
So the question
I got nothing, guys.
The question now becomes then, are we going to take our time clearing level by level, or do we go directly to these labs and see what chaos has been cooked up?
I feel like
we're cooking.
Yeah, this is a straight to the lab thing.
Okay, so no checking for survivors or anything like that?
I mean,
if they've survived this long, they're probably fine.
And we can keep an eye out as we travel, but I don't think we should make detours.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, let's move quickly then.
All right.
Okay.
Adventure!
Well, handily, you've got the map, so you can plot out a route. You see where the elevator systems are, and sort of all of that infrastructure to move between levels. And
just as a little bit of flavor, my iron muscles have probably like gone away, so you hear that little.
So he sort of deflates back down.
Yeah.
I feel like Mouse is gonna keep trying to prank Giver a little bit and poke him with like one of the like snakes that come out of her arms just to freak him out just a little bit. Like he'll just come out and like tap him on the shoulder and then go back in.
I'm imagining Mouse is kind of like a hand-based Medusa.
Yeah.
There's definite comfort the first 3 times. By the 4th time, there's definitely a twitch in his hand towards one of his guns.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Onward.
All right. So you're walking through the abandoned corridors. You don't encounter anyone else. There's a lot of flickering lights, and you get to the elevator bank, and it is doing the thing where the lights are flickering inside and the doors of the elevator are just opening and closing.
Let's find a stairwell. How about that?
Or I could try to fix it.
Is there a stairwell?
There's like an emergency hatch that doesn't have stairs, but there's a ladder that would go down the same shaft as the elevator.
I see. We'll let Mouse do her thing first. If that doesn't work, we'll take the ladder.
All right.
Should we check the elevator inside, make sure nothing's in it?
So the lights
I mean, it's
flickering.
opening and closing.
Yeah, the doors are sort of just opening and closing. You don't see anything inside.
I'm going to immediately pull the rifle from over my shoulder and settle down in an overwatch position down the hallway. And I'll spend an interact point to do so.
Okay.
So anything that moves into my field of view, I get an immediate shot on.
Nice. And I'll just walk up to the elevator and go, "Oh, sweetheart, let's see what's ailing you," and plug in.
All right.
Still creepy, lass. That's still creepy.
So when you plug into it,
plugging into the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
And it's just going shaft.
And your antiviral alerts start like flashing on your system. I am gonna have you make an intellect defense roll, and this is against a difficulty level 3, so it is a 9 or higher.
The 4.
Okay. Now you can spend that experience point you have to re-roll if you want.
I think I will. I feel like that might hurt a little bit. That's an 18.
Okay. So your antivirals were on the verge of cracking before sort of successfully shuttling it into a little bit of a sandbox against the intrusion, and then giving you access to the elevator system itself. You're pretty sure you can get it to go to level 3 pretty easily. It's only a level 1 intellect task to get the computer to do that.
Okay, guys, I think I got it. It tried to bite me a little bit, but I muzzled the bitch. So let's get in and try to see if we can go down to the level that we need.
Comforting. Yeah, I'll get in.
Your terminology, lass, is so just... I don't get this. And I'll step in as well. On the other side of the elevator from Mouse.
Cool.
All right. So 3 or higher.
Are you fucking kidding me? I rolled a 2.
Oh god.
So you try and override the system, and like the doors slam closed for a minute, and it like kind of jolts, and then the doors just open again. And you're still
all right, level 3.
Is there anything I could spend to like shoulder it and try again?
You can wait a little bit of time and try again. The difficulty is going to go up a little bit, so it'll go to a level 2 task on a reattempt.
How long are we talking about waiting?
You figure you've got to sort of sort out and spend at least a few minutes.
Just give me a minute, and I will just start like talking sweet to it. Come on, man. You know, you're making me look bad in front of my friends. You know, we already had this on lockdown. I'm trying to make you feel better. Just work with me a little bit, okay? And I'm like, it's just like more tendrils are coming out just to start and just try to push that virus back a little bit more to try and get to work again.
All right. So we're looking at a 6 or higher.
14.
All right. So this time, you spend some few minutes sweet talking the computer, and it finally is like, all right. And it descends down the shaft. And then the door pops open on a completely dark level 3.
Awesome. I step out.
I let everybody else step out first. I'm this close to retiring and owning my own bar.
I wanna like a flashlight on my gun that I can.
Oh yeah, totally.
Flip open.
Yeah, that would be like an inexpensive.
Cool.
Item.
Yeah, I'll shine that around.
Just sweet talked an elevator.
But did it play music?
Oh, it totally did. It totally did.
It was absolutely the girl from Ipanema. Let's face it.
But it was playing a weird metal cover version.
Oh, classic.
Oh God. Oh. Why did Pricking Benjamin do a Girl from Ipanema cover?
And it would be a classic because it would be at least 100 years old.
It would be.
I'm shining my flashlight around.
Yeah,
totally
and so
getting the attention of anything that might be waiting.
So it sweeps down the hallway. You can see sort of like long stretches. The hallway is really wide here. It's just a plain, smooth. This is like a very utilitarian section. And then periodically there's like large sets of double doors that usually have a nice little placard beside it with like a number, like the suite number for the offices, and usually, you know, a header with the name of the company.
Hey, Wool, on that computer thing upstairs, you know, the map, what did they have written down that Monolith was called?
The caravan offices.
Okay, yeah. We're looking, that's probably what it's going to be labeled as. So we're looking for that.
All right.
Good call checking that, by the way. Smarty pants.
I mean, and your map sort of actually has, you know, laid out sort of go down this corridor, turn a right, take a left. Here's the doors. This is the Monolith super secret lab.
Oh, well, whatever. It was still a good idea.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have luck pool.
Oh. Yes, I forgot about that. Which I
You
believe,
and me both, brother.
Which you can spend from to re-roll. So you didn't have to spend that experience points to do your re-roll.
So I'm down to 2 luck points because I start with 3.
Yes.
I thought about taking lucky, but you know.
Because I knew how I rolled, which is why I. Okay. All right. That's good to know, guys. I rolled up and I was like, what the shit? I forgot about that. Cool. Sorry. Continue.
All right.
I think Robin and Gavril will take the lead. The 2 soldiers are ex-mercenaries at the front of the room.
I'll sort of keep Mouse company.
Can I ask? God damn it! Can I ask BS if she is reading any life forms down here within our radius?
All right. So you go to try and contact BS over your wireless link, and because you're now through a bunch of layers of rock, it's just a hissy, staticky connection.
Shit.
Your Wi-Fi tapped out.
It's roaming.
My wireless headphones can only go through so many walls. Don't want to alarm anybody, but BS is a little too far away, and she will not be helping us anytime soon. So
good to know.
I head on a swivel.
When I was your age.
You know what? I don't even want to hear it.
We didn't have wireless connections to super advanced artificial intelligences. You kids got it easy.
My eyes narrow, and like the eyes like circle down to narrow, so I'm narrowing at them twice.
Do we have, by any chance, access to one of those devices where you look at it and it pings if there's something moving?
Oh, motion sensor.
So you're thinking
what game is that? One of the Aliens games.
Aliens.
Yeah. That one.
Because it's from the Aliens movie with the gun and you're sweeping it in front of you.
It's right on top of you.
Yeah. Nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Exactly.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, I would say that that's probably in this setting just like a moderately priced item.
All right.
For like a limited range motion sensor.
I'm gonna take one of those out of my bag and hand it to Mouse.
Ooh, is it my birthday?
Apparently.
Is it my birthday?
If you want it to be.
Stop it, you. Hello. I don't even know why I'm acting like this, but it feels right. It feels so good.
You're technosexual. It's okay. It's the future.
Yep, I've always wanted to go on a date with Siri. It's just what I've always wanted.
You reached your final destination.
Have we? Okay.
Oh.
Pull out the bubbly and the charcuterie.
I pull up my thumb flask.
Cool. I now have this thing.
Yeah, let us know if anything's coming. That'd be rad.
Is this something that I'm going to have to link to the station, or is it something that runs independently?
Yeah, it's like just a little handheld unit, and it's set sort of. We'll pick up anything within about 10 meters, and it'll just like blip up on it. You can connect it to your own systems, and then just wear it on your belt, and it'll come up in your little overlay.
That's cool.
It would just come up in my eyes because I don't have an overlay. It's just
that's right. Yep.
Can I just open up my other thigh and like the tendrils come out and it just kind of absorbs it in, and then it closes and like my eyes kind of like click, and then all right, I'm all set.
Awesome.
She is inside me.
Oh dear. All right.
Give anybody a little bit of I might have a fever right now, so this is where it's going. This is where it's
excuses.
going. No, it's just me. You're right. Okay, cool. I'm in.
All right. We're heading towards Monolith.
All right. So you head down the hallway, and when you get sort of probably about 2/3 of the way to the Monolith entrance, you can see a body of a Acheron security guard on the floor.
Uh-oh.
I want to throw a ration bar at him to see if it sticks.
I had a similar thought, but mine was bullets.
So you throw your ration bar. It bounces off his like tack vest that he's wearing and just like bounces off down into the hallway.
Does the body move?
It does not.
Okay.
I took a shot at it.
Oh, he might still be alive.
I go for a leg.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
It was like that when we got here.
So you fire off a round, which impacts into the corpse's leg, and there is no movement.
I go over and check it for them for any identification, or
I'm gonna go get just a snack bar.
Yeah. I pick it up and I toss it back.
Thanks.
And I'll just look at Givril and go, you know what, Bright Eyes? Now you're starting to creep me out.
Guns are my thing. Technology is yours.
All right. Moving on. And are there anything on him that speaks to the techie in me? Is there
like a black box?
Yeah, I check for
gadgets. I just rip open his chest and pull out his black box to see how he died. Like
right.
Standard issue.
You know, the 24th century version of a thumb drive. Are there floppy disks? Did those come back?
That'd be rad.
Yeah, we went back to 5 1/4.
A CAC card, you know.
All right, so the body seems to be in sort of like relatively standard tactical gear. So it looks like whoever it was had definitely like geared up for trouble, wearing a tactical vest and that sort of thing. There's a name tag. It says Kowalski is the name.
Really? From Doom? Kowalski? Are you seriously throwing that at me right now?
Wait. I look over my shoulder and I say, that's one Doom Space Marine.
Oh, God. Separate motherfucker. Never mind.
So yes, when you start searching the body, it does indeed have various bits and pieces of equipment that you can harvest, and these are actually going to be in the form of ciphers. So basically the equipment's kind of busted, so you get like one use out of it instead of being like a piece of equipment that you always have. So there's a couple of things. You do see sort of fastened to his tack vest is a little pouch that's kind of velcroed on with like clearly kind of just like slap it to activate it. And you recognize it as a bit of armor reinforcement. So it's sort of a nano weave kind of thing that like oozes out over your existing armor, provides like an extra layer of protection. They come in various forms, and whoever's going to take it can roll me a d6 to determine exactly how good it is.
Who's the squishiest? Who has 0 armor?
I actually have 0 armor.
So do I. So
one of you two take it.
I'm good.
I'll slap it on the bard.
All right. And you know that it lasts about 24 hours. It's actually because it's kind of geared up for going into like a hardcore combat situation, so it's pretty good. So go ahead and roll me a d6.
Okay. I assume this is kind of like a cream, like a pie. You know, it's like.
Yeah, you sort of like slap it, and then it kind of becomes like venom, right? Where it just like oozes over you. 2?
3.
3. Oh, 3. Okay, so it is a level 4, and this is great. It's sort of in the mid-range of product. This is one of Monolith's own products, of course. Prominent. It's got a big M on it for Monolith Systems.
I have like an M on my.
Yeah. So it'll give you an armor of 2, but it gives you an armor of +5 against fire.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right.
I don't think it works against sticky though, so.
Don't touch the blobs.
I was going to make a out of the frying pan into the fire joke, but then I realized how terrible that would be.
Fire at wall.
There's also like a dermal patch there, which you recognize as an analeptic. So it's basically like a stimulant. It restores points to your speed pool.
Ooh.
Is anybody speedy?
Me.
I toss it back to Gavril.
And I'm assuming because you'll spend speed, right?
Yeah.
Like you're firing and using guns and things like that.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Smart pills.
So you can also go ahead and roll a d6.
Yep. I got a 6.
All right. It is a level 8 analeptic. It is like the full charge.
Wow.
So when you apply it and activate it, it will restore 8 points to your speed pool.
Nice.
Tight.
Nice.
This guy is like the Walmart of people.
Tricked out.
I realized we're standing over a body, scavenging it.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead, so it's Walmart.
Nicely done. I'm proud of you.
He appeared to have like a full like rucksack full of like various other like it's more than a single person's loadout. Basically, he's like grabbed extra like tactical packages and threw them in there.
And he's pretty close to the elevator. He's probably running.
Yeah, he was trying to bug out.
Better we're not the first crew to arrive on the station.
What else you got, boss?
All right. So there's another little device. Again, sort of, it's just a little mechanical device you kind of plug into your gear, and it is actually a very nifty piece of tech. You've rarely seen it. It's actually made of a crystalline substance. This is alien technology that occasionally gets recovered. Humans haven't figured out how to manufacture this. It's from an ancient civilization called the Builders. And humans being not terribly inventive at naming things, just call it a blinker. Basically, you apply it when active. It's got enough charge. It runs for 24 hours. during that time, if you're hit hard enough to take damage, you actually teleport a short distance away.
I think that's Mouse's.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I can't deny that my heart has longed for this.
I pick it up and I sort of like hand it to her.
Would I automatically know what that is?
Yeah. This is kind of the thing. You know, your internal systems are like cataloging all of the tech.
Oh my gosh. I've only heard about these. Oh, thank you so much.
I start blushing a little.
Cool.
All right, so
I'll store that somewhere. I'll find a pocket.
Yeah, and you can interface it with your own systems basically, and it just generates this little field around you. So once per round for 24 hours, once it's activated, if you're hit enough to take damage, you still take the damage, but then you get teleported an immediate distance away. And for the remainder of the round, your defense is modified one step in your favor. So any defense rolls you make get like one step easier for that round.
Nice.
Okay.
And you don't have any choice on where you get teleported to.
Check. Okay.
All right.
I think we probably ought to see where he was running from.
Was there anything else, or that was it?
Yeah. Oh. No, he's got some more stuff. There's a pair of paratactical goggles there that are basically like night vision goggles, but like really enhanced night vision goggles. So when
Morgan.
they're so they've got enough juice to run for 8 hours, and they'll just let you see in total darkness.
I think that's Morgan's, considering she always runs up and hits things, but she sees what she's hitting.
Definitely would help.
If you insist, I'm fine with one of you guys taking it.
I mean, I would get use out of it, but by all means, take it. I need to get new upgrades anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then he's got one additional stim, like a dermal package stimulant. It'll last for an hour, and you know that it's just kind of an all-purpose enhancement. And it basically lets you spend a level of effort without spending any points.
I'm fine with one of you. You're not taking that.
Which one is it? Sorry.
It's like an all-purpose combat enhancement stim. It'll basically, when it's activated, it lasts for an hour, and it lets you spend a level of effort for free, so no points required, and it doesn't count to your normal limit of only spending one level of effort, so you can still spend effort on top of it.
So you say combat, but I'm almost thinking that Mouse has been making a lot of the checks to interface, and that could come in handy for her. Or one of us should just hang on to it until we feel like we don't have to decide right now.
It makes sense for Mouse to have it.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to a little bit of stimulation. I'm so sorry.
I give it to Mouse, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna need another drink for this.
Oh God, I'm causing people to drink. I'm freaked out. Yep. Cool. Awesome. I'll stick it somewhere.
All right.
Not like that.
And then other than that, he just had his like standard, he had like food and weapons and that kind of thing.
Okay.
What's your cipher limit, Mouse?
Does it say ciphers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be at least 2.
2.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't have another one unless you put one of yours down, or one of them will fizz out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the system has a limit on how many ciphers you can carry. If you try and go over it, one of yours will like randomly, if you're in a fantasy game, it basically disappears. In this, it would just like fits out and stop work and not work.
I mean, so how many do I have?
You've only got 2, so you're good.
I'm good. So I have the weird. I have the blinker and the stem.
Yes.
Yep.
Those are right. Got it. Cool. Good to know. Thanks for that, guys. Because I have no freaking clue what I'm doing.
I got you.
Shall we go?
Well, now that we've scavenged this poor, unfortunate victim of the attack, let's move on.
Does he look like he was attacked? Can we tell actually how he died? Someone smarter than me should try to figure out what happened to him.
Hey, Gav, you think you could take a look at this guy?
I mean,
You're good at death.
I'm good at causing deaths, not so much identifying what has caused. I can give it a try, though, by all means.
Go for it. We believe in you.
I assume that would be an intellect roll.
Yeah, I'm going to call this, let's say, a level 3. So 9 or higher. And if you have any relevant skills or...
Let's see. I don't know if this would come under assessing danger.
I think I could be persuaded to allow it, so that reduces it to a 2, so a 6.
Okay, then.
He was in danger, so...
That's right.
That was lucky, because that was a 7.
All right. So the body on the front, you don't see any gunshot wounds or anything like that. But when you're sorting it and you sort of flip it and roll it over, you find 2 neat puncture marks sort of at the back of its skull.
You told me no vampires.
I was just going to make that joke.
They're about as big around as a dime, and a little further apart, sort of, up almost near each ear.
Morgan, you ever seen anything like this? I can't think of anything in our past.
Hey, Mouse, does this look like anything to you?
Let me take a look. Can I scan it?
Sure. You can.
I don't know how I work.
You can run some kind of analysis.
Flexing a new muscle.
Similarly, I'll call this a level 3 intellect difficulty, so that's a 9 or higher.
At the same time, I just remembered I have this. Can I run a DNA scan?
Can you explain?
Yep. Sorry, and so what did you roll?
An 8.
Can I provide an asset potentially if I use one of my items to get like one of those Star Trek like your arm is broken? One of those.
So she's basically already just like feeding in her visual information into like her internal computer systems.
Okay, so it would be
nothing.
Gotcha.
Was there nothing in there that would be an asset to me, like the DNA code that I already took, or?
Not for this.
I am literally just trying to pull whatever out of my ass to try and make this work.
We just don't know what this thing is.
You've got some luck points and you have your experience that you can always spend to reroll.
I still think it's a giant vampire, you guys.
Do we really want to find out what this is, or do we want to be surprised? Because I've got 2 luck points, but I'd like to keep them.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah, I'm fine with either.
I'm curious about something. I want to like knock my head, see how it feels, and then I want to knock this corpse's head, see how it feels. Just
the scientific process and work.
Are you trying to find a stud in the wall?
No, I'm seeing if there's a hollow sound.
Let's call this a level 2 intellect.
For the DNA
6
scan,
or
what
higher.
level was that again?
Yeah, we'll circle back to it. Just 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're okay. I get what's going on here now.
So a level 2, so a 6 or higher on that.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
11.
All right. It's not hollow, but it sounds like sloshy.
Oh, like, oh dear God.
I just want to shake his head now.
No, don't do that.
Does it sound like a martini shaker?
Yeah, it sounds like sloshy and slushy and goopy.
God.
I don't think we're gonna get much from this.
But thick. It'd be like if you took a hollow bowl filled with eggs.
Ugh.
Oh,
I just discovered Morgan's weakness, and it is that sound.
If I could throw up, I would.
Question is, where are you holding it? Are you holding it near the holes?
I was gonna say I actually tried to like tilt it a little. Let's tilt the head a little.
Oh, does it come out? Does it come out the hole?
Eventually, like a little something kind of goops out.
Oh.
Okay,
Ew.
let's go. I think we know what happened to him.
So Gavin, what were you gonna try and do, DNA sequencing wise?
Just the same again. Try and confer to the database of Monolith and Ocean.
Yeah.
It's
So the
the
problem
same
is
guys.
your connection back to BS is
Right,
disrupted.
yes.
So you might still be able to attempt it, but it's going to be much more difficult because.
I mean, at the least, I'd like to have a reading of it and then compare it later if this doesn't work.
Yeah, you can definitely take the sample and the machine will like sequence it and do it, and you'll have it on file.
Could I see if I could figure out where we are now?
If you could figure out.
It's even without the connection, if it would still work, or would this have to be something that we'd left until we ever?
It can sequence it, but it can't do. It doesn't have access to the database to compare it to.
Okay. Would it be able to compare it to the previous results? Because there was that unusual.
It would. Yep. So we'll call this a level 4 difficulty.
Okay.
Can I help?
Yep. Yep, because you've got the stuff stored in your head, so that would take it down to a 3.
That's a 18.
Okay.
He didn't need it.
It doesn't
amazing.
match. It doesn't match anything in the previous scan.
Oh, so this guy must have been, or this person must have been a outside hire.
No, he was just comparing it to the previous sample.
He just wasn't part of the blob.
Yeah, he doesn't
Right.
have access to the database at the
Right,
moment
right.
because your
I
signal.
was seeing if it was because there was unknown DNA. I was seeing if there was any of that.
Guessing. I'm
Let's move on.
guessing. Sorry,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm guessing everyone in the blob was like fully in the blob. But I don't know. Could be wrong. Let's go find some more of those gross things. How about?
Yes, let's go head first into something that literally mushed someone's brain. Never heard a better idea.
That's the spirit. I'm gonna take off down the hall.
Am I getting any ping?
No, you are not.
Well, according to that finagly device that I put in my leg, coast is clear.
Awesome.
All right then.
Cool.
Away we go.
All right.
Away.
So you get down, and indeed there is doors with like a sparking little flickering sign that says caravan above the entrance to the Monolith Black Labs, and the doors are like cracked open. They're hanging open.
Outwards.
Yes. Yeah, they're opened out. Which looks like the hinges are broken because it looks like the door should open in, not out. But they've been busted.
Is it blob sized? Like a blob sized opening?
Well, it's a
Dirty
big
great.
double set of doors, so
Potentially.
potentially, yeah.
Okay.
I'll look at the pull to open and say, well, whatever broke out of here is strong and stupid.
Why are you looking at me?
Listen, it's a glitch. It goes wherever it wants to sometimes. Just go with it.
That's fun.
I would never.
So immediately on the other side of the doors looks kind of just like a generic reception area, and like doors to offices. You have like sort of the internal plan, and you kind of just have to go through this area into the back to get to the R&D area and the labs through some secure doors. But you have all the entrance codes, part of your security package. But more than that, you can actually see that the doors leading to the lab are all busted open.
All right, well, we should check it out. I'm going to tap Gav, and I think we're going to, like, go into formation and, like, you know, do, and then, like, I go to one side and he goes to the other side, and then we, like, check all the corners, and it's very cool looking.
I'll be rear guard.
Yeah, I'll just be standing with London and just going, "You guys are so cool."
So I know I said I had a pistol and a rifle before, but I just had an idea. So he sort of pulls his finger a little bit and it sort of clicks out, and so he has a
finger gun.
A finger gun.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm figuring he has something as like a rifle in his other arm or something.
Yeah.
I just look at him and go, "You're adorable."
Point taken.
No,
All right.
take about 10 to 20% off their squirrely Dan.
That's right. So you eventually sort of, kind of fast forward through doing your tactical, approach down the hallway. Until you get to the lab, which does have like light emanating out of it. And when you look in, the lab has been taken over. All of the walls, like the room has physically sort of shrunk because growing and covering all of the walls is just fused flesh.
Oh.
So the walls are all like rubbery and it smells horrible. As it's like oozing and secreting, and like there's little like tumorous growths. Occasionally you can see like a hand or like part of a head sticking out. And against the very back wall, you can see this sort of black, metallic, organic, sort of reminds you of these fibers you saw in the creature upstairs, growing out around from a computer terminal and sort of snaking all out through the room. And in sort of the heart of it, you can see this little, like, crystalline device of some kind plugged into it. There's a couple of tanks throughout the room that have sort of misshapen humanoid beings, like, floating inside, like clone tanks. You've probably seen, like, clone tanks before for just growing clones. And they're like moving feebly inside, and you can see these like black tendrils have sort of penetrated into the tank control systems. But then the more immediate threat is sort of like blobbing out from the wall at the back and uttering this like bone-shaking roar is what looks like an extremely large bear. But it's got like
Really?
this really wrinkled hide. It's got no eyes. The flesh is like grown over its eyes, and it's got these two large, almost like elephant tusks, jutting out from, not from inside its mouth, but kind of out along the side and jutting out. And it just sort of just shakes its head and roars, and you can see these large fangs, and saliva is going everywhere. And despite having like no obvious eyes, it seems to not be impaired at all as it swivels towards you and sort of snorts and comes stalking towards you.
I want to punch it in the face.
All right, so I will have everyone make speed rolls for initiative.
18.
Not good.
Okay.
19.
Mine. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Mine's a 5, and I'm trained in initiative.
Okay.
So 8, I guess.
I have a 4. I don't think I add anything.
Yeah. All right. So, blanking on names here, waiting for the overlay to float back around. Gavril and London will go first, and then the bear, and then Morgan, and then finally Mouse.
Cool.
Gav?
Striding into the room, taking steps to the side, avoiding the walls by a good distance. I'm going to just say, "Thou sin, suffer your retribution," and one shot with each pistol.
All right.
So let's see. The first is 15. Oh, and I'll do PS as well on these.
Okay.
So the first is 15. The second is 14.
All right. So yeah. So this is a level 4. So the difficulty is a 12. So those both hit.
Okay. So it's 6 damage.
Okay. So the 2 bullets sort of impact. Yeah, so it was 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. All right. Just had to calculate that because it does have this like thick hide, so it has a little bit of protection. But yeah, your 2 bullets impact sort of in its shoulders, and it again just sort of bear-like shakes its head with its tusks as it's charging in towards you.
And kind of rotating anti-clockwise, if that makes sense.
Okay, and London.
So I have this thing called Attack Flourish. Is that something I have to spend a point to use, or can I just use it? It doesn't mention.
If it doesn't say, then it usually doesn't need anything spent.
Okay.
You can just double check here because I have your sheet. Yep, it doesn't say.
Okay, cool. So what I do is I sort of spin around and do one of the like it's not quite, I don't get to one knee, but I sort of crouch down and I go pew and I flourish attack the creature.
Okay.
And this will give everybody else I choose to name all the friendly creatures that I see. And you all get a +1 bonus to your next dice roll.
That's good.
So what do I roll to attack? Just a d20?
Yeah, so you're going to be so you're firing a gun, so it is a speed, and again, it is a level 4, is its difficulty, so your targeting is a 12 or higher.
Okay.
And if you have, any special abilities, you're attacking with a light weapon, so a light weapon reduces difficulty by 1 step. So it goes from a 4 to a 3.
And I just rolled a 4.
Okay. So your shot sort of goes wide as you make this flourish, and the bear's just kind of like, stalking into the room.
Don't worry, Walt. It still looked good.
So cool, dude.
And I'm gonna guess Morgan's the one that, like, as everyone entered the room with her and Gav sort of up front, and then he fires and leaves you high and dry, circling around the room.
I'm right in its face. Right where I want to be.
So the bear is going to charge in and attack you, so that will be a speed defense.
Awesome.
Which you get a +1 on,
Nice.
I think.
Okay, so 16 + 1, and I'm trained in speed defense.
Yeah, so it's a 4, and you're trained, so that's a 3, and then the asset brings it to a 2, so you only have to roll 4 or higher.
Yeah, I got 16, and awesome.
All right, so yeah, so it goes to gore in on you, and just you.
I know tusks are no joke.
Exactly. And so you have no problem. All right, and then it's your turn.
Okay, sweet. I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to use Control the Field, which costs 1 might, and I also want to use Effort. So is that 1 + 3 and then -1 edge?
That's right.
Or
Yeah,
total of
add
3?
everything up and then minus the 1 edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. Okay. and that's a 10. But I used effort, so that brought it down to a 9, right? DC?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I did it. So I'm gonna do 1 less damage than normal. So I'm basically gonna do 5 damage. I want to grab onto its tusks, knee it in the face, and then with control of the field, I can maneuver it where I want. And so I want to try to fling it towards the wall, and I want to try to get it to stick if possible.
Okay, excellent. All right, so your unarmed attacks normally do 6, that's right?
Yeah, this is pretty badass.
Your unarmed attacks count as heavy weapons. That's awesome.
Awesome.
All right, so you do 5 damage, reduced by its armor, and yeah, you throw it into the wall, and indeed there is like a kind of sticking sound as it impacts against the wall.
Ah, that's right.
That's gross.
Sort of like, yeah, some of the little pustules like burst, and the stench wafts through the room. Okay, Mouse.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's your turn. What are you doing?
Okay. So there is
the device on the far side of the room definitely looks mechanical and computery in nature.
I want to go and touch it.
Okay.
I'll just kind of yell out, "You guys keep them off me, and I'll fight this battle, and I'll take off for it, and I will try to interface with it." And
don't forget to activate your stim.
Cool. I don't know if I want to blink away, but it's fine.
No, the other one, the one that lets you use effort for free. I don't know if we turned it on.
Yeah, you can throw on the combat patch, the stimulant, and activate it.
Cool.
All right, so that will be your action, activating it, and it is just a short distance, so you can move that as well as part of your action. So you get to the computer, you activate the stim, and you're all set for like next round, basically.
And my pupils just go huge. You go, whoa.
It's that what's the movie with Bradley Cooper where they take the drug and get real smart?
Oh, Limitless.
Limitless, yes.
Yeah.
Like
I was just gonna go, hey guys, have you ever seen that really old movie Matrix? I could see the system.
All right. So we're back around to Gavril.
I assume it looks like it's stuck to the wall.
It does. So that will count as an asset. So that reduces it from a 4 to a 3.
Awesome.
I'm going to start walking towards it. And so the first shot is as I approach. Can I do the second shot as I'm right in front of it, so it's point blank?
Sure.
Something for him to say. Thou art of the abyss and the hells. Return from whence you came. I like the idea of him speaking as he does these shots.
Metal.
So the first is a 9, and I think with the reduction that would hit. Okay, and the second is 13, so that would as well.
Okay.
That's 6 damage again.
All right. So yeah, the 2 shots, the second one cracks into its skull. It's like roaring in pain. And
and you get a +1. Sorry.
Yeah, they both worked
both
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm right in front of it now.
Yeah. And London.
So I noticed that my edge is actually in might, which I assume is melee attacks.
Yeah, typically.
So I had an idea. So in my right hand, of course, I have the finger gun, but in the left hand, could I have some sort of like fist, extend, like pop? I could use it as like a melee weapon, like maybe a chain on, like the fist becomes like a thing, or like a heavy baton pops out.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I think I'm going to go with the fist.
Attack 'em robot.
Yeah, exactly. I go running up, but not as impressive as like the Hulk out soldiers. I just make it look like it's that. And a flourishing attack, I just give it like a rock'em sock'em uppercut with this extendo fist. And I go, London extend punch. And it's a
Alright.
flourishing attack.
Yeah, and so go ahead and make a might. And it was normally a 4, but it'll be reduced to a 3 because it's stuck to the wall.
Okay. Now, does this count as like a medium weapon, you think? Or
It normally it would be appropriate as a light. It can be a medium if you want. That's up to you.
I would imagine it maybe might be weighted, like he has the light range and a heavier.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're trained in medium weapons, right? So.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a 5.
Yeah. So it like pops out and it just sort of like glances off one of the tusks.
Don't worry, well, it still looked good.
At this point, I'm starting to get a little flustered.
Aw.
Oh, actually, I didn't notice that. Technically, its defenses are higher.
Oh no.
That's okay. So it just roars, and because it's got 2 people right in front of it, it goes to gore against the pesky guy with the pistols who utters strange things to it. So Gavril, go ahead and make a speed defense roll.
Okay, so how does that work with armor?
Same as attacking. Armor reduces the amount of damage you take if you get hit. It does damage reduction as opposed to... It doesn't work like D&D. It works like some other systems.
And I'm looking for 12, right?
That's right.
And you get a +1.
Can I spend some effort?
So I think that +1, it's only for the round. Oh yeah, you did the flourish again. That's right. So yes, so that reduces it to 3, and yes, you can spend effort from speed.
I'll take my risk of it with a 3.
Okay. That's a 9 or higher.
I shouldn't. No. Okay. What damage do I take?
7 points of damage.
Okay.
It's like a Mack truck.
Man.
But then if your armor is 1, you subtract 1 off of that. If your armor's 2, subtract 2.
How do you know how much damage how many hit points do you have?
So it comes out of your might pool
Mhm.
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Oh, that's good. I don't use might anyway.
Same.
And then when you deplete a pool to 0, you basically take like a wound, which moves you along sort of a wound damage track, and then you start taking damage from speed instead. So there's an interplay here where basically your pools are overall energy. You're spending out of it to do things, but you also take damage out of it. All right, and then it is Morgan.
All right.
I've got
I
it
just
distracted. Punches already.
yeah, I'm just gonna punch it right in the face.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend effort.
Okay, so it's still stuck to the wall, so it goes from a 4 to a 3. You get the 1 enhancement from the bard-like flourishes, takes it to a 2. So if you spend effort, it takes it to a 1, and so that's only a 3 or higher is needed.
Okay. I rolled a 3. That's why you spend effort.
So you crack him in the face
For 6 damage.
for 6 damage.
How?
All right, and he like sort of its head snaps back and sort of squeals in pain. It's not looking very good. All right, Mouse, you're ready to do your magic on the computer system.
I am so ready to get acquainted.
All right, so you're just gonna try and sort of interface and basically attack with the system.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so I'm going to say that this is a level 6.
Okay.
So as a base, so that would take it to an 18 or higher, but you get to spend free effort from your combat stim. So we'll just assume you do that, which would reduce it to a 5, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then if you've got any other skills, or you can spend other effort.
+1, would that still come into effect?
Yes, because she could still see you, so that reduces it to a 4.
Okay. So I'm down to 7 intellect, right? Because I took a point for edge. Is that what happened?
That's right, yeah. So you've got to spend 2 points to spend a level of effort out of that pool, if you choose to.
I'm down to 6 intellect. So if I started with 8.
Yes, if you had 8, then yeah, you'd come down to 6. Yeah.
Okay. I just have, it's just the machine affinity. I don't know.
Yeah. So we went from a 6 to a 5 to a
5
4,
to a 4.
effort to a 3, and then the affinity we'll say takes it down to a 2. So you only need a 6 or higher on your roll.
Shit. All right. Cool. I rolled 16.
Okay. So you interface and connect with an alien operating system.
Oh shit, guys!
But your system knows a little bit about it because builder technology is something that humans have been working with for at least a couple of decades.
Okay.
And monolith perhaps a little bit longer. So you're interfacing with it, and you're in. You sort of managed to slip past its defenses, and are kind of mapping out what it is doing, and it is indeed the source of the infection through the whole system, and it is controlling the like nanotech stuff that seems to be consuming people. In fact, you get a whole log where you can see exactly everything that happened. Yeah, it starts flicking through, and it's horrific.
Oh, this is not. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Cool. They're doing some pretty messed up shit in here, guys. Can I start trying to shut it down, or is interfacing my action? I can start to try and disable it next turn.
Yeah, I think interfacing with it would be your action.
Cool.
Cool.
That's me. I am now one with the machine, and it made me.
All right. And now it is the machine's turn.
Oh.
And it
shit. Okay.
It does a viral counterattack.
Yep.
So I need you to make an intellect defense roll. This is going to be a level 4 attack.
Doesn't matter. I just rolled a natural 20.
Excellent.
Yay!
All right. So not only do you resist the attack as it sort of goes to like mentally intrude on you, but I'm going to basically sort of intrude in your favor.
Okay.
So take another experience point.
2 XP, boys.
And you can give one to somebody else.
I will. Oh shoot. Okay, he's been rolling really bad. I'm gonna give one to London.
Okay, excellent. And you basically turn the viral attack back on the system itself and damage it. So you're gonna treat that as an asset going forward next turn.
Oh, this is so cool. Sorry.
All right. Gavril.
I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Point blank in its face.
All right.
Take it down.
Is it still stuck against the wall?
It is, because it hasn't attempted to get itself off because it enraged attacked whoever was in front of it. So it's at a 3.
Any benefit from being literally in its face?
No.
Oh, okay. So the first is 13, that hits. And the second is a natural 20.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so that would stack up enough damage that you basically just fire 2 shots into its head and just pulverize its skull.
Brilliant.
Revealing sort of encased in sort of this like bear-like skull is a all too human looking skull.
Oh no.
I bet his name was
trapped
Boris.
inside it, and then all of these like black, filaments and tendrils wrapping around through it.
So this might be done, but one of the major effect of wields 2 weapons at once is make an immediate additional attack with one of your weapons.
Yeah.
I kind of want to shoot at the computer.
All right.
What that I'm linked to?
Go ahead.
You do you, dude. You do it. Do it up.
It's the height of combat, the adrenaline. Not really, just instinct, rolls around, take the shot.
All right. So it's going to be, so normally it's a level 6, but I'm going to say it defends physically as a level 5.
Okay, that's a 16.
16 hits. So you do, what, 4 damage to it?
That would be 3.
3, right, okay. So it cracks into it, into the system right in front of Mouse's face, sending like shards and sparks and everything.
Do I take any damage from that?
You don't, but the system appears quite damaged after his shot.
Okay, I'll just yell out, "Don't fucking do that again."
Okay, that was my bad, I admit. Got too caught up in things.
We're gonna have to talk about this technology violence later.
He just got tusked like right in the guts. You cut him some slack, man.
I just almost got shrapnelled right in the face, and this is a pretty face.
It is. I know. I really. We're cool. We're cool.
And this was a pretty body.
Cool.
I mean, it's not got a hole right through it, but
You'll patch up. I'm gonna pat you right on your wound. Like very gently though. I know you can take it.
I kind of want to bust off one of the tusks for like a trophy I can take with me. You know, like mount it up above the bar.
Yeah. You know, taking a little bit of time, you pull out a little laser torch and like cut it off.
Actually, how heavy is it? Is it?
It's relatively heavy. It's pretty big. It's
okay.
You know, probably about
3
feet long or so.
Okay. I sling it over my back, you know, tuck it in. Like I assume I have like something I can.
Oh yeah, you've got like a pack or bag for sure.
Cool.
All right. So Mouse, you want to continue your adventures with this computer system?
Yes. Let's go down the rabbit hole.
All right. So yeah, you think you can attempt to at least shut it down again, so it's still a level 6, but you've got that asset going forward, so that reduces it to a 5 immediately. You've got your free effort, we'll reduce it to a 4. So now we're looking at a 12 or higher before you know, if you spend more effort or...
Did my reckless attack do anything?
It damaged it, but it doesn't count as an asset. It physically damaged it, whereas she's monkeying around with the code.
Okay, that makes sense.
I will stick with the 12 and see how it goes.
Okay.
And I will use luck. Natural 20.
Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So,
I swear I'm not cheating.
You're the man tonight.
So you managed to like totally crack the code open, invert it on itself, doing sort of the digital equivalent of a black hole, which ends up like erasing all of the operating programs off of the alien device, which then falls out of the computer system that it was interfaced with. So it doesn't seem like it can actively control anything anymore. And in fact, you see all those black tendrils that you saw kind of go like gray and lifeless and brittle and just like fall away. It looks like the computer system is still like almost probably irretrievably infected. Like, because it's just been totally overwritten by alien code. But when your signal kind of goes down, you reestablish a signal with BS, and BS thinks that sort of asks you what the status is.
I will. Well, my love, I found the source. Seems we've got a pretty good virus. I think I've shut it down. The bad thing is I'm losing all the information from the computer, and it seems like it invaded to the point where it's rewritten the code of the station. I don't know if I can get it back up on my own. do you have any template that we could rebuild the system off of?
We could. Standard operating procedure in this case, though, would just be to destroy everything. Remove all trace of Monolith and Acheron's involvement. And we'll let the insurance company handle it after that.
She hiding anything?
And she asks, are there any witnesses left alive on the station?
Oh.
Say yes.
When she says this, do I get the inkling that perhaps we are part of these witnesses?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, you're employees.
Oh, good.
Right.
You've signed NDAs, like.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already sold our soul. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I
How
mean,
else do you get a job in this
if you
economy?
tell anybody, they'll kill you. But
So I don't get the sense that if I tell her no, that she's just gonna nuke the station.
no.
But nobody else can hear her. Is it just me that can hear?
They could hear her if you wish it. That's totally up to you.
I figured everybody can hear.
Oh.
I'll say I've got a speaker under my armpit or something. So,
or you could probably just patch everyone in like a little like.
That's way cooler.
you activate your local hotspot and everybody connects.
Yeah, I'll just be like, think cool. So I know that Gav was saying that there were witnesses. You wanted me to say that there's witnesses. Did you have anything to back that up as to why I should say that?
Oh no, that was me going on the line of we say no, we're killed.
Oh.
Disregard.
Got it. Cool. I will say, as far as I'm concerned, everybody's dead. And
Right.
Is there any information I could pull from this for my own files without their knowing?
From the computer system?
Yeah, to try and see if maybe I can decipher this language later.
Possibly. Let's say again, this would be like a level 6 task to try and do. Well, this is after, so it's probably gone up a step. So we'll say it starts at a 7. You still have your effort, so that reduced it to a 6. Your free effort.
Okay. And so that would mean I would need an 18 or higher.
18 or higher, but you still have intellect points that you could spend. Like spend effort, right, to reduce it to a 5.
Yeah, let's do it because I feel like it would be beneficial for future. Yeah, so I have 6 intellect points left. So
yeah, you have a free recovery that you roll a d6 to add back to pools. That there's a number of recoveries, but we just haven't needed to use them yet.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead and spend freely. You're fine.
All right, cool.
So 15 or higher.
15 or higher. I'm gonna use my last luck. Last luck of the day, guys. 18. Didn't need to spend it.
All right, so you haul off what you can into like a local, basically a thumb drive.
It's literally on my thumb, guys.
Yeah,
It's literally on your thumb.
You can see it coding right there on the thumbnail. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like a terabyte of data stored on your like an optical thing that's the size of your thumbnail.
So should I start a self-destruct procedure then and just nuke the station?
Yeah, and she you already have we'll say you've got sort of like viral protocols that you can just upload into the computer system to just like wipe everything so that it's like bare metal. And standard procedure would be to like firegut the Monolith labs, firebomb some other places in the station to make it look like Monolith isn't the only place that had a problem. And you've got sort of like a package of like, this is how you make it look like there was a real bad accident.
We're the crime scene creators.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
before I forget, with this connection we established, compare the dead guy's DNA.
Right.
That's one has.
Yeah, it was an Acheron security guard.
Just ensuring it wasn't anyone else who got into the station. And then tried to make it tech.
Smart.
Came up as a match with another Acheron employee.
Okay.
His name was Bill Kowalski.
Oh God.
Rest in peace.
God, I can't with that. So yeah, I guess I'll say, all right, guys, I think we're done here. We gotta get out. We gotta boogie. This place is about to go down. Let's make it all look. Let's light the candle on this bitch. We got a few things we gotta burn.
Fine with me.
Gav, I know you've been itching for some techno abuse, so do it up, my man.
Well, admit the arson part of this job is the best part of this job. I mean, apart from the shooting.
So
I will try not to take it personally.
as a little bit more flavor, I walk up to the computer that Mouse was just at. I stretch out my arm, grab the wrist, and I pull the arm off, and I start beating the computer with it.
All right, cool. You could say he really strong-armed that one.
Heavily armed and operational.
That's so horrible.
Heavily armed and operational battle bot. All right. So assuming that you carry out with your plans, you eventually, partially trash the station, leave it for the insurance evaluators to deal with, burn all the flesh.
Definitely.
Incinerate what you need to.
Oh yeah.
And you follow. It's literally like Acheron crime scene cover up protocol number 5, and carry it and return to the ship. And BS informs you that you've well earned your bonus, and your risk multiplier should be a pretty hefty payday.
Awesome.
If I had a soul, I'd feel bad.
I say everybody drinks around me. I pull out some mugs and I
I think the drinks are in you, but sure.
Drinks are in me. There we go.
All right, excellent. So we will leave it there for tonight. Thanks everyone for sticking around, and everyone for joining us in some shenanigans. I know we had promised to wrap before Critical Role, but we didn't, so that's okay. All right, so thanks for tuning around. I am your game master, Dan Gaston, at MadSciDM on Twitter. Thanks for putting up with my rusty cipherness. I gotta reestablish my cipher muscles as we go forward, because I plan on running a lot more cipher on the channel.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the system.
I've never rolled so many natural 20s in my life.
You're making up for sidekicks last week.
Dude, are you? Yeah, you were rolling like 19s for like your the whatever modified crit, whatever that was. I like on 3 different dice, natural 20s. I'm just like, you guys are my chosen.
Last week I had the criticals. This week you did.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Make up for being sick.
and
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we'll go around in reverse order, and people can again let people know where they can find them, anything you might have coming up that people should know about, and your favorite moment from the game. So let's start with Sam.
So I'm Sam. I can be found on Twitter at Eldritch Warlock, although admitted I don't really do much on Twitter. I need to get better at that. Favorite moment of the game? It's honestly hard for me to say, because the whole thing was a brilliant first exposure to Cypher. The whole thing was memorable, but if I had to pick something, I think just the character of Mouse. Just her technophilia.
I don't even know where that came from.
Excellent.
And
oh yeah, sorry.
on, I think, this Monday, I'll be over on the RPG Lab with the College of Doors, which is at, I think, 6:30 GMT. You'd have to do that for EST. I'm a bit too tired.
So I think it would be 2 Eastern, I think.
That
It's
sounds
either
about
it's 1 or 2 Eastern.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Excellent. Awesome. Alex.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexander Gasson. You can find me on Twitter at Crit Charisma. I've never played Cypher before either, and that was awesome. I wish I knew more about computers. I feel like I was stealing a lot from like hacker movies, but it was I will have to say that my favorite part of the night is hitting on every machine. I don't even know where it came from. This was a randomly generated character, and for some reason, whenever I first touched something, I was like, I don't know, she's just really gonna like it. And it made sense. And so I went with it. I'm so sorry if I made people uncomfortable.
I don't think any of us were, so I think that's totally fine.
I don't know. My character was, because initially,
Yeah.
as soon as you did that, I immediately thought, well, this is a guy who's still using bullets. He's got the leather duster. He's got the leather wide brim cap. He's doing all these quotes. Yeah, he's slightly technophobic.
And I'm just over here, like, literally sprouting, like, tentacles.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, stroking the computer. Yeah. Oh, God, it was awesome.
Excellent. Lita.
I can be found on Twitter at Lisa Bronwyn, and I make a lot of D&D and other RPG content with my husband, who's on Twitter as Baby Sculling Dragons, and our Patreon is also Baby Sculling Dragons, and we come out with stuff once or twice a week usually. And my favorite moment, I think, was punching a boar in the face. Boar bear. Awesome. It's everything I wanted.
It was the Cypher famous, well, probably because I think it's originally from Numenera, Ravage Bear. Is what the creature is called, yeah.
Very cool.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Pater.
I'm Pater Voss. Hashtag Punbard is where you can find a lot of my work. I make daily Dungeons and Dragons themed puns and sometimes other TTRPGs. I plan at some point soon, hopefully if everything goes well this coming year, to publish some content and make a website of all of my past puns. This was a lot of fun. I had a total blast. This is actually the third system I've ever played that's not Dungeons and Dragons.
Excellent.
Favorite moment. It's kind of like a two-parter. So I liked the elevator scene, and then the looting the body scene that happened right after. That I think was a pretty good encapsulation of the different aspects of this of the group. This is a lot of fun.
Well, I am stoked that we were both your first streaming experience and your first Cypher experience. I am definitely always happy to. That's one of the things we want to do with Variant Roles is bring people into streaming, and I really like Monty Cook Games and everything they do. So I'm also a big proponent of introducing people to their wonderful work. So on that note, yes, I am Dan at MadSciDM. I am generally here on Variant Roles, and occasionally, get invited to play something with friends elsewhere. Nothing planned and coming up, but Variant Roles we do have on Saturday at, I believe, also 8 Eastern or 7 Eastern.
6, 7.
6. I think it was 6 Central, right? So I think 7 Eastern.
Hold on, I've got the tweet.
7. Corey's 7 Eastern. Corey Hickson will be running Blades in the Dark as a one-shot here Saturday night.
I will be playing.
Excellent. It should be great. I will be in chat watching, and then partway through teaching people how to run OBS and stream, so we can get some more tech people in the channel. I think that's all we have scheduled, but we should have some stuff next week. So stay tuned to our Twitter at Variant Rolls. We'll have some more one-shots hopefully lined up for through the week. We're just getting little bits and pieces in through January, but our big announcement is starting Monday, February 4th, and running Monday and Wednesday evenings and Saturday afternoons for Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And we'll be starting basically a couple of months of doing a survey through Undermountain. And we're doing it with a nice drop-in, drop-out style, so players can join for like a week or two at a time, running through single dungeon levels, multiple dungeon masters running things. It should be interesting. We've got some good stuff lined up there. And I am into the midst of prepping a day and time to launch Invisible Sun here on the channel, as well as I have opened the Black Cube from Monty Cook Games and been totally sucked in with the awesome surreal fantasy adventure. We'll probably have multiple groups basically rotating through Invisible Sun periodically, again for sort of just like a couple of weeks at a time, and then coming back. And it might end up being Saturday evenings and mixing in with like Cypher and some other stuff. So stay tuned and we will have those announcements. So thank you everyone for following. Thanks Monty Cook Games for hosting us tonight. That was fantastic. And retweeting us. We love it. And if you are so inclined, follow, you can subscribe, and we do have a Patreon linked below that you can support the channel. So thank you very much everyone, and good night, and we will see you on Saturday. Bye.